Hello everyone, this is Richie with Figpin Files, and I decided to upload another video today just because the last one was kind of abysmal. And I know what you're thinking, you're like, hey, why don't you just redo it? Well, I did, and it still kind of came out not so great. But as I was kind of, reviewing my videos in general, I kind of thought, hey, you know what? There's a lot of new people that are like just getting into Figpins, and they're as soon as they like upload the app and put in the serial number, they get all these numbers thrown in, for example, and it gets a little confusing. And with just that alone, you're like, well, what else could there be? Well, there's actually quite a few things, and I wanted to cover that today. Now, as far as like the serial numbers go and all the information on there, I have to be honest, it's a bit of a learning curve. It's something that as collectors we're not really used to seeing. I mean, it's quite possibly the first collectible to implement an app. Not implement a serial number specifically. I have collected other things that have a serial number on them, and it'll also tell you like where in the production line that specific collectible is from. And man, this music's a little too loud for me. Sorry. One of those things I should edit out, but I don't. Alright. So it's gonna be a little confusing at first. The top recommendation for people just getting into Figpins is to just play around with the app, kind of just tap the buttons, the ones that are available, and then that way you kind of guess what everything means. There are explanations. I'm not gonna lie, it's very confusing. But eventually you'll slowly understand. I'm not even 100% sure how it all works. But at least it's there, you know what I mean? At least you can not only pinpoint how many they made, where yours stands out specifically in that production run, but if you go into the app and you look at the pins that they have released, and then tap them on your screen, then it'll actually, you have a way to actually see the dates of when they were produced. Then it also tells you how many editions there are, and it also tells you how many are soft case, hard case, and so on. And that's actually one of the first things that I want to get into. As you've probably seen, especially if you go to GameStop, they have a lot of soft case versions of the Figpins. And when Figpin first came out, they didn't exactly do it that way. From what I heard, GameStop and Target, they were like, you know what? We like the idea about the pins, but we don't want to spend a whole lot of money. So how about instead of putting it in a hard case, put it in a soft case? So that's how we ended up with these right here. Now this one specifically is what I would call a first to market exclusive. And it was exclusive to Target for about 3 months. Now for some reason this one has like a lower production run than the hard case. That normally isn't the case, but that's that. Now, does soft case necessarily mean it's bad? No. Sometimes you just don't have a choice. I mean, this came out in a soft case, and although another first edition came out in a hard case, that one has a larger production size. And two, even if like you don't like the soft case, you want to put it in a hard case, the good thing is that you can take this card out, put it in a hard case, put the pin in the hard case, and there you go. But you won't have this. And that's kind of, I think, what I mentioned before about the hard case, is that the sleeve, the protective sleeve, pretty much tells you, hey, this is a hard case version. Because I could put this in a hard case, but then I won't have this. Or I can, I could cheat. But that's one thing you want to look out for. And that's the main reason why I made this video. So that by the end of this video, when you're on eBay or if you're trading in a group, you can ask the right questions, because I don't want you to end up with something that you're not going to be happy with later. And that does happen. So See, I also have this. And this, okay, let's focus in on that. It's a chase version of this Gogeta. Now the production run on this is around 1200. I believe the regular version is somewhere between 5,000 or 8,000. So 1,000 or so of these, that's not too bad, right? But then they released a hard case version, and that, for the chase, the production run is only 500. So as far as collectibles go, the hard case is going to be the most desirable in any situation. And, you know, you could call someone a snob for preferring hard case or preferring first edition. But when it comes to collectibles, you want to have that control. You want to have that understanding that you will like one thing, you know, and if you're going to spend your hard-earned money, then you should get what you want. And that's kind of how I see it. So an example of a soft case that's very desirable is, of course, Android 18. Not only is this in a soft case, but it's also has a production run of about 7,000. Now, to put things in perspective, this Gogeta production run of 1,200. It's worth about $25 to $30. This right now is worth $30, even though the production run is at 7,000. But you know, I think it helps that this was it's been vaulted, quote unquote. I'll get into that later. I think this is vaulted too, but this was vaulted way before this one. So yeah. So what I'm trying to say is that soft case doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. And that's why people say collect what you like, because, you know, it's just one of those things. You don't want to get too hung up on stuff like that. So the next thing I want to talk about are like the GameStop pins. There's actually quite a few issues there. And I want to talk about it because I know from what I've seen and on social media, a lot of people, their first experience with Figpin is they walked into GameStop and they saw it. A lot of people bought the Dragon Ball set from GameStop. A lot of people received Figpin exclusive to Kakarot, the game. And for a lot of people, that's the first intro to Figpin. So, but I want to let them know and let everyone know that unfortunately, GameStop like overbuys these pins. And what I mean by that is whenever you see a pin at GameStop, whether it's something like Jiraiya, for example, or Togata from My Hero Academia, the production run is going to be like around 8,000. And the same goes for their XLs. Who am I thinking of here? Blah, blah, Endeavor, and so on. The production run is 8,000. Now, these pins, all of them, the minis and XLs and the normal size ones, most of them get released later through Figpin's website or through other retailers. And they come in hard cases and they come in lower production runs. And so, you know, if you're the kind of person who doesn't care about those little details, then you shouldn't have a problem. But if you're someone who wants to collect these, you know, maybe just hold on to them a little bit, sell them later. I mean, that's just part of the game. I mean, that's one thing that we like, is that, you know, these get collectible and they go up in value. It's fun. It's fun to see them go up in value. And what actually triggers the value going up, who knows? So it's not like, you know, I can't just hoard these and then be like, yeah, hey, there's none on eBay, so let me sell this for a high price. It doesn't exactly work that way. But I just want to let people know that if they really like a pen and they see it on GameStop, if they could just wait for a little bit, it's probably going to come out later in a hard case version, or a run that's a lot more sustainable. Not more, I don't know why I said sustainable. It's a lot smaller. That's what I tried to say. With an example being like Endeavor. Like I said, GameStop kind of overproduces them, or they order too many. I have an Endeavor from Barnes & Noble. and they only made 565. So that's the difference between like GameStop and Barnes & Noble, or just Figpin's website, or any of the other retailers. So just keep that in mind. And then next I want to talk about the different like terminologies when it comes to like limited edition versus an exclusive versus a first to market exclusive. Now, limited edition, or LE, they usually, when it says limited edition, that means they're not going to make any more. And then exclusive just means exclusive to a store, but it doesn't always mean that it's going to be sold only there. And that's when the first to market exclusive term comes in. Whenever they announce a new pen, like when Figpin goes on their social media and they announce a new pen, you want to go into their blog and read all the details. What you want to look for is either LE or limited edition or first to market exclusive. And the reason why that matters is because LE means, they're not going to make any more, or they might do some strange variant, like they like adding glitter. Exclusive and first to market exclusive are not the exact same thing. I believe, let me see, give me 1 second. For example, this right here. I believe this was exclusive to GameStop, but first to market exclusive. And in typical GameStop fashion, they order 8,000 of these, and they came in a soft case. This one I actually bought at Box Lunch, and the production run is around 3,000, and it's in a hard case. So that's something else that you had to kind of investigate. And honestly, all these little details, and you're kind of like, man, it's a lot of stuff, I know. But when it comes to collecting, you really enjoy having all this information available, because you can make a decision about when you're going to buy something or what exactly you're going to buy. Also, with the con exclusives, you want to, when it comes to a con exclusive, you want a number on the back card. That's the main thing. I'm going to try to show you right now. All right, so these are both LE, as in limited edition. This one's limited edition of 1,000. This one's limited edition of 750. This one's a Figpin.com exclusive. This is a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. And as you can see, this one's numbered. I kind of flipped the card around. This one isn't numbered. What does that mean exactly? Well, although this is LE, I don't think it'll be, unexpected if they just decide to make more of these in some way. But with these, at least, they're numbered, so they can't really make more. Versus these, they might make more. Who knows? I'm still not. No one's really sure about that. So that's one thing you want to keep in mind. Now, as far as social media, let me see here. I'm trying to put this here because I forgot to mention it when I was talking about hard cases versus soft case. If you're the kind of person who enjoys the collective side of collecting fake pins, like not just showing off the pin, like putting it on and just saying, hey, I have a Batman pin. If you're more like, hey, I like collecting fake pins and I like collecting the rare ones and, which ones are rare. This, in the name itself, it says rare, right? You're going to see a lot of these, but more than likely, you're going to see the soft case version. So what exactly does that mean? Well, the soft case version of this pen is around 500. However, this in my hand is the first edition. The first edition hard case. And what's the difference? Well, the first edition hard case only came out with 137. Now, that's quite a small number. But this also has a second edition, and that second edition is 80. This is one of the more desirable Batman pins, and Honestly, I got lucky with this. So I didn't know it was a first edition. And that's the main issue. A lot of people who are just getting into Figpins are like, they want this and they want the hard case, not realizing how rare it is. And that if they buy a hard case, it might be a second edition and not a first. So how do you know these things? How do you even, because if you put the serial number in the app, it'll just say first edition 137. If you put the soft case version, it'll say first edition 560 something. But just know that the first edition hard case is the rarest one. And that if that's what you want, make sure to ask for it and ask for these details, So when you see it online, you see it on eBay, you have to ask the seller, hey, is this a first edition or second edition? If they don't answer it or whatever, then don't buy it. Because if you're like me and you prefer first edition, then you have to ask those questions. So, but also, one thing that helps, especially with everything involving these, is going on social media and joining a group. Now, I'm part of Figpin Chasers, and they have a lot of information on there. Not to mention the founder and the marketing, I guess the director of Figpin, have done like a live interview there. So it's a pretty good group to join, especially for the information side. Without even posting anything, you could just read through everything and you learn that way. That's how I learned almost everything that I know. And I can't really even say I know everything. So, but what I have learned, I've learned through different groups, but mostly Figpin Chasers. And also, if you are really into these, then you will know about something called an AP edition. AP stands for artist proof. And so basically the artist hand paints a few of their pins. So if this was an AP pen, which is not, then the artist literally painted it like this. And it's usually a small run, like somewhere between 12 and 80. I think 80 is the highest I've ever seen it. So that makes it very special. That makes it, to me, a very unique piece of art. And that is awesome, but also very hard to find, therefore very expensive. And if you follow Figpin on their website, I mean, not on their website, but on social media like Twitter and what's the other one? Instagram, they do giveaways. Now, anytime they do a giveaway, more than likely it's going to be an AP edition. So you want to enter the drawing just because you might win and you might get an AP edition. The founder of Figpin also does giveaways on his own channel, Figpin. Sometimes it's AP, sometimes it's not. He does let you know, so there's that. Yeah, this video is going longer than I thought it would. So I'm not actually going to cut it short. I think for now, maybe I do a part 2. I have some things that I kind of wanted to go over, but I guess I'm just going to have to say that for later. So hope you found this video informative. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.